Once a man was carrying a tiffin carrier and was going on a pilgrimage, food in his box, and he was going. After some time he felt very tired. The box was heavy, he was tired and hungry. So he ate up all the food and took some rest. And when he started walking again, now what happened? The same food which was in the box has gone into his stomach. But he doesn't feel the burden of the same food. In fact, he feels energized by the same food. And the box has become empty. This is what is the true understanding of how we should learn. Till we carry the burden of the knowledge in our books, then carry it in our head, pustaka to mastaka, and then till we remove it back from our head and throw it into an answer paper, we are not at peace because it is only a burden carrying on our head. But the moment we digest this knowledge, we eat it, in the sense we digest it. The same knowledge now is no more a burden. In fact, it energizes us, it gives us correct understanding of things, it helps us to analyze, it helps us to discriminate and understand everything in the right perspective. So digested knowledge is very, very important. If you carry it in the books, or from the books if you carry it on your head, your knowledge will always be a burden. But the moment you assimilate it, digest it, it becomes a part of you. You don't feel burden carrying your own lungs and hearts and stomach and intestines. Why? Because they are a part of you. Suppose I had to carry somebody else, then I feel a burden. When I have to carry my own self, I don't feel any burden. I don't say my stomach or my lungs, or maybe I should remove one kidney and one lung, I'll feel lighter. Nobody says that. Because this is a part of us, it has become us. And when it becomes us, our own self, there is no burden. So knowledge, unless it becomes a part of us through the right kind of education, the right understanding, right practices, and right assessments, the knowledge will always remain a burden. So people first carry knowledge in their books, burdens on their shoulders, carry huge heavy school bags, and then they carry the same burden in their head, undigested knowledge. Until they have written the examination, they are always carrying burden. By daily using that knowledge, by daily experiencing that knowledge alone, you will remember that knowledge. One fine day you cannot remember. So last shloka we learnt about Esha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Gudo Atmana Prakashate Drishyate Tvagraya Buddhya Sukshmaya Sukshma Darshibihi. So he said Sukshma Buddhi people who have very fine and subtle intellect, they alone are able to have the right kind of focus, and with that they are able to perceive this truth which is otherwise as if hidden in secret, though present in all the beings. That is the idea. If you go back the previous chapter, there was one shloka where he mentions Tam Durdarsham Gudam Anupravishtaha Guhayam Gavareshtham Puranam. Then very important word comes Adhyatma Yogena Adigamena Devam Matva Dhiro Harsha Shoko Jahati. See, there I explain what is Adhyatma Yoga. You have all kinds of yoga. Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. But there in the previous chapter, Yama says, who can know this? Na avarena puresh, all that he had told. After that he says this, that one is hidden inside every being. Guhayam, Gavareshtam, Puranam. It's old, ancient one. And who can know it? Adhyatma Yogena Adigamena Devam Matva Dhiro Harsha Shoko Jahati. The one who has practiced Adhyatma Yoga, the yoga of within, Adhyatmam, the one which is within one's own self, one who has practiced that yoga, that person alone can know this truth. This effulgent one is revealed to such a person, knowing which Matva Dhiro Harsha Shoko Jahati. He gets rid of all the idea of both Harsha and Shoka, Sukha and Dukkha, Labha and Alabha, Jaya, Ajaya. That is what happens to the person who takes to the path of Adhyatma Yoga and finds out this truth within one's own self. So this is now the next stanza that we are entering is the Adhyatma Yoga methodology. It's a very important sloka. And this is what is the answer to the previous chapter's indication by Yama that practice Adhyatma Yoga for attaining this. He didn't say practice Bhakti Yoga. He didn't say practice Karma Yoga. He didn't even say practice Jnana Yoga. He didn't say practice Hatha Yoga. He simply said at that point in time, Adhyatma Yoga Adhigamena Devam. And that is what we are going to learn. What is this Adhyatma Yoga? He explains the way to realize this Brahman, how we can do. So yesterday our Bharat told that there are two ways, do's and don'ts of Brahman realization. Do's is Yamai Vesha Vrunate. Those who want Brahman, Brahman is known to them. And don'ts are Na Virito Duscharita, Na Shantaha, Na Samahitaha, Na Ashanta Manasa Vapi. So these are the other things which you should not do. What? Don't indulge in bad conduct. Don't have too many desires so that your mind becomes restless. Don't have the fickle mind, have a samahita mind, which is focused mind. Then don't even develop impatience for realization. Ashanta manasa means have patience, do your duty and leave the rest to God. God knows when to answer your prayers, when to answer your efforts. So 4 don'ts were there. Only one do is there. What is the one do? Yamai Vesha Vrunate, the one who wants it, gets it. And don't do me, Preya Shreya, everything comes under the don't do. So don't make a mistake of choosing wrong. That is Preya over Shreya. That is Na Virito Duscharita. Like that only Na Ashanta. Ashanta means all the desires and thoughts and emotions that keep troubling us, so mind is never at peace. Na Asamahitaha. Your mind is scattered. One day you try Karma Yoga, then go and try Bhakti Yoga. No result, do try Jnana Yoga, then go away to one more Guru, one more Guru. How are they? They are digging pits everywhere, but nowhere they will find water. Because if you want water, you have to dig deep into a well. If you dig a little here, dig a little there, dig a little there, you are not going to get any water. So Asamahita Manasa there. And then last one is Ashanta Manasaha. These people have no patience. 20 minutes I did meditation today, 21st minute Brahman should have revealed himself to me. I am so deserving, they think. This is the way you cannot attain Brahman. So what is the way to attain Brahman? Now we understood there is a methodology. So now you must be remembering the sequence. Parabrahman, Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha Virata, then Jiva, then Buddhi, then Manas, then Indriyartha, Indriyas. So you know this whole sequence, because you have to remember that he's going to repeat the sequence now of how to go back to the source. As I said, the way you have come down the steps, the same steps you have to go back to the original place. So now with keeping that in mind, the meditation or the Adhyatma Yoga that is being taught here by Yamadharmaraja is in the 13th shloka. Yachet vang manasi prajñastad yachet jnanamatmani Jnanamatmani mahati niyachet tad yachet shanta atmani. See, this is the sequence. He says, yachet, merge or withdraw. What? Vang manasi. The speech, the faculty of speech, that is the indriya, indriyabhya together, withdraw it into your mind. That is the first step. And who can withdraw? Prajña can withdraw. Prajña means the thinking one, the discriminating one, the intelligent one. The fool cannot do this because fool is always looking outside. Preyo buddhi. Shreyo buddhi person, dhira. What will he do? He will take all the indriyas and intriyarthebhya and put them into the mind. I will explain what it means. Then next step what it says, tad yachet jnanam atmani. All that mind that you are now, merge it into the buddhi. Jnanam atmani is buddhi. Jnana, where jnana resides, individual jnana. This is individual buddhi. Put it there. And jnana atmani mahati niyachet. And all the buddhi that you have, with which you see, think, experience the world, merge it into the greater buddhi, the mahati buddhi, the hiranyagarbha buddhi, the virata purusha buddhi, the higher buddhi you merge this whole thing into. And what else it says? Tad yachet shanta atmani. And take all that and put this into the highest atman, which is the parabrahman, who is not thinking. Shanta is. Any thought makes you ashanta, because you are thinking now. So you are not at the supreme most peaceful level. So finally merge it into the highest. So it has not gone step by step as we had seen, but it has in 4 steps it's telling you, but means the same, if largely means the same. How? First we see anything in the world, which is in Bhutakasha. What is the bhutakasha? All that this exists, physical world, pancha bhutas, and then all the elements, all the things that are existing in this bhutakasha. So what do we think? How do we see a thing? I see a tumbler. But who sees the tumbler? Eyes are seeing the tumbler. So if I meditate, who sees the tumbler? Then I see my eyes are seeing the tumbler. But who sees the eye? My mind sees the eye. This idea of Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha are where? They are not in the physical eye, because these eyes, nose, mouth, all these holes which called khanis, they are there. Suppose a blind man is there. Can a blind man see this tumbler? No. So it means though he has the eye, just like my eye, your eye, he can't see the tumbler. A deaf man has the same ear, the hole for the ear is there, but he is unable to hear the sounds around. A person who has a problem with some tongue, his tongue seems to be there, but he cannot taste anything. They have some problems with taste buds. Or touch sense is not there, though skin is there. And things like that. So it means even if you have the physical senses, they cannot act unless they are capable of acting. And their capability comes from where? Comes from the mind which understands all these things. You may say, no Swami, because of the physical problem, neuro problem or some problem in brain, they are unable to experience this thing. Because eye has not got the proper retina or proper this thing. That could be one reason you can tell. But greater than that is what? Even when you are sitting here in the class, suppose your mind goes out somewhere. Do you hear what I am saying then? You don't hear. Somebody is sitting and talking to you, and we have this new habit of checking the phones even when people are talking. Very, very discourteous. I suppose the person is speaking, we don't even hear what he is saying. We keep telling like that, but we are checking our phone. Why it's happening? Because our mind is not engaged with the ears at that time. Our mind has got engaged with our phone. So even though the person is speaking, we don't hear a word of what has been spoken. It means what? Indriya and Inda Artha, both of them cannot exist without the mind. Mind has to support them, otherwise you will not hear or see or taste. Some people eat food, they're in such anxiety they eat. After eating, they don't even realize what they've eaten. Why it's happening? Simply because your mind is absent at that point in time. So Indriya and Indriya Arthas have to be absorbed into the mind. Let us carefully analyze. See, this Adhyatma Yoga means yoga of the within, not the yoga outside, yoga inside. So he says, how do we go inside? Watch. Whatever you hear, taste, smell, touch, see, everything is dependent on Indriyas, and Indriyas are further dependent on your mind. So absorb all this into your mind. From Bhuta Akasha you have come into the Chitta Akasha, the space of the mind where all the thoughts and emotions exist. Now you do next what? Mind level also is not enough, because mind also is not the truth. Now mind cannot function without buddhi, because mind is only data collection. Mind is like collects all the data. But who analyzes the data and takes the decision? Buddhi part of the mind takes the decision. The mano part of the manas part doesn't take the decision. The buddhi part takes decision. And till we take a decision, our mind is restless. Suppose we want to wear something. You want to go to a party or somebody's marriage or birthday. You see you have a wardrobe full of clothes. Which one to wear? That itself can take away an hour of their time. In fact, they will start becoming anxious from a week before. What will I wear for the marriage of that person? Today's youth spend tremendous anxious moments for their dressing habits. I'm going out now, what dress should I wear? What will others think? What did I wear in the morning, afternoon? What shoe to go with, what dress, what bag to go, what watch to go with it, what hairstyle to go with it. Endless choices they give to the mind. Because of what happened, the mind is so confused and so anxious they are. And buddhi is not functioning. Buddhi is unable to take a decision because mind is attached to something or the other. So till the buddhi makes a decision, no, let us wear this or let us eat this and let us go. This also happens when you go to restaurants. You go to a restaurant. Now you want to get the best deal out of the money that you are going to pay. So you look at the menu card. First you look at the items and you immediately make a decision. Oh, there are so many items, I'll take this. Then your father will say, look at the price also, Akarna, once, this side. This is 250 rupees, 300 rupees. Then your decision making will start. But I want to eat that, but the price is too much. Now the confusion begins in the mind. And the waiter will be waiting. That's why he's called waiter. He keeps waiting for the menu. What you going to order? Keeps waiting. Then says, sir, shall I come back after 5 minutes? Come back after 5 minutes, you'll tell. Then you keep discussing. After 5 minutes, he comes back, looks at you. From there only returns. These people have not made a decision. So decision making is the buddhi's process. Mind gets attached to its likes, dislikes based on the indriyas. But till buddhi makes the decision, the mind cannot function. Can your mouth speak and tell the waiter, get this? Your indriya cannot function, your mind cannot function till the buddhi has decided. Therefore, buddhi is greater than the mind. And without buddhi, the mind is useless, it is restless, it is scattered. For a scattered mind, remember, na asamahitaha, na ashantaha. It's impossible for the scattered mind to realize Brahman. That's why master the mind, focus your mind, concentrate your mind and all that. So buddhi is greater than the mind, it's very obvious. But buddhi, if it's of bad quality, we remember rajas, tamas and sattva buddhi. These rajasic, tamasic buddhi people cannot attain Brahman because their mind, buddhi doesn't function properly. It only runs behind senses, runs behind their mind, deha abhimana, mano abhimana. So this is where individual consciousness, this buddhi associates itself with the mind and the body. So this is the individual consciousness. Now this is what is called as jnana atmani, the self. Within the self there is a jnana, faculty to know, and that faculty is called buddhi or vijnanamaya kosha also it is called. Now this has to make a decision. But if it makes a decision on its own, as whoever you are, let us say you are so and so, you are Amar. Now Amar has to make a decision for himself. As what? As Amar, this body and the mind means, I want to do this, I don't want to do this. This mind is telling him, and the senses are pulling him. I want to eat this, I want to eat this, I want to eat this. And mind is saying, but price is too much, but price is too much, but price is too much. And buddhi is saying, hey, both of you keep quiet, let me decide what is going to happen. So it will take a decision after that. But who is deciding all this? That individual is deciding. So till there, everybody lives in this world till this level. Tamasic people live in this world at what level? At indriya and indriyartha level. If they see something good, without thinking, they'll jump in and get it. They won't think what will happen to them afterwards. They're driven by their body instincts. It's good, bad, no discussion at all with buddhi. Straight away go and do it. After that they suffer. That's a separate story. So these are tamasic people. They work at what level? Indriya, indriyarthebhya level. Rajasic people, they discuss with the buddhi and mind. They don't simply run behind the senses without thinking. They think. But what happens? Sometimes they misunderstand. They get confused between what is right, what is wrong. And how this Rajasic buddhi is, what is wrong in corruption? Everybody is involved in corruption. You go to a railway station and you want to buy a ticket and there is absolutely reservations are not there. But you see the TTA, he always knows that there are some empty seats and he can allot that in the next station. You all know that. So what will your uncle tell you? Get into the train first. Then the TT will come, you offer some naivedyam and he will give you prasadam of one berth somewhere. All of you know this, there's nothing new. So when one of you, suppose a group of you are traveling and one gets up and says, this is not the right method. If the seats is cancelled, then it should be allotted according to the sequence of waiting list, and in waiting list we are some 20, 30. So before us, whoever is there should be allotted. We can't demand like this is wrong. But somebody will say, keep quiet, everybody does this, there is nothing wrong in it. So what, everybody does this. See, this is the excuse we use. Everybody is doing, so why should I not do? What's wrong in what I do? First you want to go and correct them before telling me. All these kinds of excuses they give. Because they are not interested in their highest welfare. They are interested in this yogakshema. Remember, mandohi yogakshema drunute. Because of yogakshema, the foolish people take to the preyo marga. That's why investing in character is important. Buddhi, pure buddhi, sattva buddhi is important. Rajasi buddhi should not be allowed. Rajasi buddhi gives you all kinds of excuses. Do it because everybody does it. If you don't do it, you will be at a loss. You will be at a disadvantage. Everybody will be having fun and you will be crying that you got less marks. This is kind of things Rajasic Buddhi will tell. Therefore, you have to be careful. So this Buddhi, individual Buddhi, if it's Rajasi or Tamasi, you are done. Your destruction is Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati, Pakka. No doubt about it. But if your Buddhi is Sattvic, then what will you do? You will pray to God. You will pray to God to guide your Buddhi. Idea is that. So what is he saying in the shloka here? You have a buddhi of your own, but you never trust that. What you do, take this individual buddhi and merge it into Mahati Buddhi, that universal, the God's buddhi or the cosmic buddhi. Because that knows everything, that sees everything, that understands everything. So it can guide you correctly, otherwise you will make a mistake in life. Because your individual buddhi depends on circumstances. So merge this individual buddhi, jnanam atmani mahati niyachet. Merge this into the higher buddhi. Which is the higher buddhi? The Maya Shakti of Ishvara is the higher buddhi. What is this Maya Shakti? It knew everything, how to create this world, how the ant should behave, how the elephant should behave, how humans should be, how plants and fruits should be, mountains and rivers should be. It knows everything. It sees the entire cosmic play. And so that buddhi of God is definitely far greater than your individual buddhi. And when you merge your buddhi into the God's buddhi, you become expansive. Your intelligence expands. Not only it expands, it becomes the purest intelligence. Rajas and Tamas buddhi will not affect you anymore. This is the beauty of this exercise of merging mind. Long ago there was some conflict and different people were giving different opinions on a subject. So I told that is because munde matir bhinna, each head thinks differently, means each jnana atmani is different. It depends on your mind's composition, it depends on your body's instincts. So if you have ambition, if you have desire for power, if you have all these things, then only this buddhi, jnana atmani, will think differently, rajasic, tamasic or sattvic. But if you take this buddhi, jnana atmani, and merge it into the universal consciousness, and don't take decisions from your individual perspective, but take a decision from the perspective of the universality of what the results would be, then it will start making a lot of sense. Think of an example like Rama. As an individual, when he was a son, he took a decision on the individual buddhi basis. But also at the same time he thought, if I don't follow the words of my father, I will set a bad example for many sons in the country. Then he looked after his wife because he said, if I don't set a good example as a husband, the whole world will follow my bad example. But when he became a king, what happened to him? He did not think I am a son. He did not think I am a husband. He thought what? I am a king now. Now my buddhi cannot work like a son's buddhi or a husband's buddhi. Now my buddhi has to expand to take care of the welfare of the entire country. So for that sake now I'll have to give up this small buddhi of individual thinking and I have to take the bigger buddhi of social thinking. Otherwise it will not work. He would have ruined the kingdom. Similarly, I always tell, when you have a decision to be made, each has their own individual idea, how that should be or how that should not be. See, if you all are deciding from your heart, this Mahati, heart, then you will all get the same answer to the same question. But if you are deciding from your head, which is Jnana Atmani, individual buddhi, then you will get different answers. It means what? When all of you get the same answer, then you know that it is God. It is God's decision, not your decision. But because of our personal egos, our personal authorities, our personal individualities, we always fight. One small decision we cannot take. In a house you take, 4 members are there. Forget house, take 2 children who are born of the same womb. When they have individuality and ego, they cannot come to any consensus. Why brothers fight? Why 2 brothers born of the same father and mother fight court cases? Because one of them is not thinking correctly, if not both. Both can be also wrong. But at least one is wrong because both buddhis are not thinking the same thing. It means one's buddhi is thinking differently. So even if somebody is very pure and sattvic and he's thought of God and asked God's help, and the other fellow is very rajasic, what is going to happen? There is going to be conflict. So unless all buddhis are merged in the universal buddhi, which is one and the same, you can't take a right decision in life. Your decisions will be full of your own ego and individuality, and that's why there are conflicts within homes, within children, in organizations, within countries. These all conflicts are because of individual ego, which individual ego is the jnana atmani. But the moment you surrender that individual ego to the universal cosmic intelligence of God, which knows everything, past, present, future, which knows what is best for everyone, we can only see in a limited way. God's buddhi knows everything. So you surrender to God's buddhi, then what happens? Cosmic intelligence will be at play now. Mahati Atmani it becomes. And that helps you take all right decisions in life. That is what Krishna says. Mayeva mana adastva, mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivashisyasi mayeva, ata urdhvam na sanshayah. You offer your mind to me, your buddhi to me, and having offered both to me, no doubt that you will progress. This is the way. Take your individual buddhi and with great humility and surrender, offer it to God. God, let your buddhi pervade. Let you decide for me. I don't want to have any individual attachment and decisions. How will you know that God is deciding and not you are deciding? When God decides, there will be immediate peace. This vagary and this restlessness of the mind will disappear. Whereas when you decide, there is always a little doubt. There is always a little samshaya somewhere, whether it is going to succeed or it's going to fail. Whether you have taken the right decision or wrong. There will be little anxiety. If not anxiety, then you, out of ignorance, you may be super confident, overconfident about your decision, then there will be arrogance. So remember, when you decide, there will be either anxiety or arrogance. Anxiety, when you worry that what you have decided may be wrong, may fail, may not succeed. That anxiety is because individual buddhi has worked. Other side, if you are foolishly ignorant and you are blissfully ignorant, you will take this, I decided this. How it will not succeed? Let us see. That kind of arrogance will come. But the one who has merged his jnana atmani into mahati atmani, only humility and peace will come out of the decision making. There will be absolute peace. There won't be doubts again. Next morning you can't wake up and say, I don't know whether this is the right decision or wrong decision. That will never come when God decides. Absolutely clear. Even if you don't like it, it is okay. Anyway, your mind was supposed to be merged into your buddhi. Anyway, your buddhi is supposed to merge into God's buddhi. Now, once mind has surrendered to buddhi, how can mind come and again ask you to change the decision? Mind is supposed to have been surrendered as per the Adhyatma yoga. So, the idea of a good sadhaka is what? He has given up his individuality and individual ego, and he surrenders to the divine will, divine intelligence. And when divine intelligence takes a decision, there is no conflict, there is no chaos, no restlessness, there will be supreme peace. And in that peace you realize great humility, that how God has chosen to work through me. What a great opportunity this is. How humble I feel. And when the decision goes right, what will happen then? You will never grow arrogant. So this meditation, why I am spending time, is that it is the key to resolving all conflicts within and without. This buddhi, surrender to the higher buddhi, is the only solution to all the confusion, pain, agony, sufferings in the world. Because now you don't take decision on your own. What you take, all your decisions are made by God Himself. Now, keeping this thought in mind, all of you have to go back and do one mananam. How, whenever your individual ego came in decision making, how those decisions led to either arrogance or anxiety and finally sorrow or suffering. Note it. All failures in your life are, the only reason behind them is your jnana atmani, your individual buddhi. Successes may also come, I'm not saying they don't come. But all failures in your life, anything that you tried and failed, this is because of your individual buddhi. Successes can be for both reasons. Could be sometimes your individual buddhi, sometimes it could be because only of the divine will. But failures, it is when your ego came up and interfered with the divine will. That is when all failures have happened. Anybody can go and look into their lives and they'll find out I'm perfectly correct. This is why this Adhyatma Yoga is so important. Even to live a day-to-day life and be happy and be productive and be useful in the society, this Adhyatma Yoga is important, that you learn to withdraw your senses into your mind, mind into your buddhi, buddhi into the higher buddhi of God. By thinking God alone should decide everything in my life. I don't want to take any decision. However smart I may think I am, however advisors I might have to tell me, how much ever experience I might have had in my life, yet I know nothing compared to what God knows. Therefore, let me surrender this buddhi to God. Let God decide whatever happens. Then you are never going to suffer in your life. There is nothing called failure anymore in your life. Jnanatmani mahati niyachet, that is what we learnt. And after that, what? Is that enough? He says, no. This is still at the thinking, calculating and analyzing and acting level. There is level beyond that. Tat yachet shanta atmani. This buddhi of or cosmic intelligence which runs the whole universe and the show is also based on a supreme consciousness, the Parabrahman, which is not even thinking, it is. It is. It doesn't need to think to know that it is. It is supreme consciousness. So slowly, step by step you withdraw. Live your life in surrender to the great divine will. From there you will again improve, and further you will withdraw that idea also into the idea that there is only supreme consciousness everywhere. There is no decision to be made, no decision is wrong, no decision will go right or wrong. All these limitedness will disappear. But you can't reach that all of a sudden. Step by step. You have not even surrendered your buddhi to God. How will you expect that finally you will become God? So that has to slowly emerge. Finally you reach a stage where Shanta Atmani. Shanta means absolutely undisturbed, unperturbed. Any thought is a disturbance, like in a calm and clear lake. Even a this much small stone you drop, or even a leaf falls, waves form. It is no more Shanta. So Mahati is not a Shanta Atmani. Why? Because Mahati is thinking all the time, creating the world, dissolving the world, bringing out new things. All this is the Mahati's job, the Hiranyagarbha Maya. Ishwar's Maya's job. But beyond that is the Parabrahmana who doesn't think, who is just there as super consciousness, awareness. It doesn't need to think anything. It just knows by being that. Therefore I said, when is your intelligence will become the ultimate intelligence? When you become Brahman. Why? As you become Brahman, you become everything. You don't even have to put an effort to know. There is no effort of surrender. Brahma Ved Brahma Eva Bhavati. You know Brahman, you become Brahman. Now everything is known to you. There is no reason for you to even ask Brahman, shall I do this? Shall I not do this? Should I surrender to you or not? No need of asking, because you are always living in that supreme consciousness. Great masters, yogis like Swami Vivekananda, all these people are operating from Mahati Atmani. Great intelligence. Rishis, Munis, so many of them are there. Great intelligence. Then there are those like scientists who are operating at Jnana Atmani, superhuman intelligence, but still not the divine intelligence. And then there are those who are only operating at the mind level, no intelligence. And then there are those who are only operating at the Indriya level, not even mind is involved, just running behind senses and sense pleasures. So there are people operating at different level. God operates at the Brahman level, the avatar operates at the Shantatmani level. For him everything happens. The great masters, yogis operate at the Mahati level. The scientists and the great intelligent people with high IQ, they operate at the Jnana Atmani level. And the other individuals also, low IQ, also operate at Jnana Atmani level only. Those who have no IQ, they only operate at the mind level. I like this, let us have it. I don't like it, let us hate them. They don't even think why not of things. And then the worst of all, the tamasic nature people, they only operate at the Indriyarthebhya level. Such people can never attain Brahman. So this is the methodology, the Adhyatma Yoga. How from one into the other, into the other, into the other, you have to discriminate from Bhuta Akasha to Chitta Akasha to Chidakasha. Chidakasha is the Shantatmani. Everything else under Chitta Akasha. Any modifications are Chitta Akasha. And the physical gross manifestation of the modifications is all bhutakasha. So this is the meditation. How when you sit down, you watch. I'm hearing. Who hears? Do the ears hear? No. Behind the ear, there is a faculty called Shabda. But how does this faculty work? It works based on the mind, manas. But mind cannot take a decision whether it's a good sound, good word, bad word. Buddhi decides. So I have a buddhi. But where this buddhi is coming from? It is a peace, limitedness of the higher buddhi that exists, cosmic intelligence that exists, which decides how a plant should be, how a tree should be, which mountain should have what minerals, which rivers should flow which course. Everything it decides. So that is where my buddhi comes from. I am a piece of that buddhi, that is the whole buddhi. Then what will happen? I'll go further and say, beyond that buddhi there is a supreme awareness. It doesn't even need to think. Just by being there, it knows. It does not need to think. For example, if you are alive right now, do you need to think that you are alive? Do you think that I am alive? Do you get up in the morning and say, I am alive, I am not dead, I am alive, I am not dead? Do you have to even think like that? You are alive, how do I know you are alive? You are alive, you know you are alive, because by being alive, you know you are alive. Like that, by being Brahman, you know Brahman. That is the idea of super consciousness. That is the idea of the ultimate awareness. By being that alone, you know that. There is no other way of knowing it. That is why nayamatma pravachinena labhya na medayana bahuna shrutena. No possibility of knowing it by any other means. By merging your mind completely into that Brahma Tattva, thereby becoming that Brahma Tattva, that alone is the way to know Brahman. There is no other way to know Brahman. Like to know that you are alive, you have to be alive. The same way to know Brahman, you have to be Brahman. And this is the methodology. Take your senses in India, withdraw them into the mind. Take the mind, withdraw them mind into your own buddhi. Take buddhi, withdraw it into mind, surrender it to the higher cosmic consciousness. At this level only bhakti yoga, karma yoga, all these yogas come into picture. But then beyond that is the idea that I am supreme Brahman, I am nothing less than that. I am that. That is the final ultimate kashtha saparagati, it is last shloka. Reach there. That is what you are. Once you become that, like once mercury is converted into gold, there is no converting back into mercury. Like from milk, you curdle it and churn it and create butter. Butter cannot become milk again, can it? Never. If you put in milk, it will float on top, it will never merge with milk. Likewise, once you change your whole perspective, your understanding from Jivatma to Brahma. Jivatma is this Mahati, Jnana, Atmani, Mana, Buddhi, Indriya, all this is Jivatma, with a spark of that Mahati. But when you stop being Jivatma and you totally merge into the idea of Paramatma, you are like becoming butter out of milk. There is no way butter will go back. You mix any time, butter will again float up. This is the kind of change that will happen in you.